something, something, something.
Yes. And we are live, so yeah. Hello everyone, welcome to session 12 of the Dragon Fall Pathfinder campaign. This is me, streaming, and I'm gonna leave everything to Striker now. Good luck, Striker.
Hey again, guys. I know it's been a little bit. We took a little bit of a break, mostly for my family things going on in the world. Been following us consistently would know that my significant other had her baby. Yay!
The child has been spawned.
Yes, but we're mostly all
Congrats,
here.
man.
Thank you. We unfortunately do not have a Matteo with us. He's got some real life things going on, and we respect that. But otherwise, we're all set. Who wants to try to remember and recap what happened last? I know not a lot did happen, but some important things did happen.
There's going to be a war.
We sold a lot of extra equipment and made a deal with the blacksmith.
Sabine almost blew up a thief, and then she bought cakes for the whole party.
I think only one other person had any significant things. Oh, and you guys turned in the quest to Donovan.
That too.
And got paid for it. All that fun stuff.
Yes, with screeching from Sabine.
That it? Anyone else want to throw in 2 cents about what happened?
No.
Maybe a certain goblin?
Sometimes the roles do just allow you to meet one of the most important businessmen out there.
That is very true. Someone who you guys shouldn't have met yet.
I mean, you should probably know at this point that we are kinda like the gods of doing weird sequence breaking.
Oh, Tatsu just likes having weird shit happen. I mean, at least yesterday I was able to sidestep a sequence break that would have been horrible and amazing at the same time. At any rate, so, you guys remember where we ended out?
Yep, we were just heading to the, I don't remember exactly what it's called, but the little bungalows.
We were basically where we were last time, where we had those like really high class rooms.
The executive suite.
Yeah, the group was basically just talking to each other, and we ended with Sabine just pulling out the cakes. I get the reference. That's a New Vegas reference.
Indeed.
It is indeed.
It's the stealth suit from OWB.
I like that stealth suit.
I love the stealth suit.
I hate it because it keeps injecting you with medics.
Okay, yeah, that one annoyed the hell out of me, and it like wastes all your stim packs if you happen to hit half health.
You got a hit for 1 damage. Must inject stimpack now!
I wish it would only inject you like upon emergencies, like when you don't hit the stim pack yourself in time.
Yes.
At any rate, so yeah, I think you were all getting to the executive suite and getting ready to go down and start getting ready for the night. Except for I think it's only like 4 or 5 in the afternoon. Fiend, you have the time frame. Do you remember what I last told you was the time?
In my notes it says that last time I checked time was before Sabine got the right before Sabine got the cakes, which was 17:00.
About 5, yeah, a little after 5 o'clock.
Sorry, I'm writing military time because Czech Republic, yay.
That's fine.
Whee!
So I'm gonna say you all were gathered there. Unfortunately, Steve was the only one with the key in.
Mm-hmm.
Steve, how early would you have gotten?
Wait, we are inside?
Yeah,
or-
we're already inside.
You guys did get inside? Okay,
yeah,
that's what I was
yeah.
asking.
Okay,
You guys
okay.
were last.
Okay, Striker, the last thing we did was Sapim put the thing on the table in the middle of the room. And,
I remember
and
now.
she was about to review the cakes.
Okay.
I have group hug saved.
Yeah, there was a group hug.
I remember that now.
Yeah, you wanted to end it there because it was very wholesome.
Yes. Does sound like something I would do. Alright, Sapine. You have a captive audience. They're shackled. They can't leave. Oh god, what are you doing? Oh god.
Well, she cannot really do anything because she has a massive amount of, like, intelligent meat on her right now. Well, semi-intelligent, I mean, who looks at Treball. So yeah, she's just making noises of pure struggle as she's being hugged from all sides.
Oh no. Sapine, can you survive the cuddling?
I don't know, should I roll for this? What should I roll?
How would this be affecting you mentally?
She doesn't like it, but that didn't stop, everyone.
I suppose Chrome will be the first to release.
The weight lowers dramatically.
Nah, I think you're gonna be fine. It's just, oh gosh, so much affection.
If she was a changeling from My Little Pony, she would probably be shitting herself right now.
Right?
But yeah, so yeah, she just makes like noises of struggle and just like waves her hands, trying to unlodge herself from the mega hug. It's only mega hug. It's no longer hyper hug because Chrome left.
If you're trying to remove yourself from it, that's probably going to be either acrobatic or grapple.
She would have to roll. She would have to roll against everyone who is still hugging her.
Pretty much, yes.
So you're saying,
Although it would be
yes.
one roll against all of theirs. You wouldn't have to roll individually each.
Okay, so
Unless-
you're saying acrobatics, right?
Yeah.
Guys, this is gonna be a fun one.
Oh no.
Yo!
That's pretty good. If you guys are going to try and maintain the hug, you're going to need to roll grapple. CMB. We're going to increase that roll of yours by 1 for size because you are small. And the rest of them are not, except for Steve.
And don't you have a luck stone?
No to her.
Is everyone
Is
else just
anyone
not paying attention?
God damn it, I was muted. I'm sorry.
God damn it.
I was chewing. But no, if she's pulling away, Audin's not going to hold on. Though he will, pat her on the head and chuckle.
What about you, Steve?
Okay, that's 2 released.
You're muted.
Yeah, I know. Sapine was the one that pulled Steve into the hug. So when Sapine leaves, Steve would disengage.
Mr. Treball?
Trouble was not here
Trouble
last time,
releases.
so is Trouble even hugging?
I
Oh,
thought
wait.
Trouble was hugging.
Wait, was Trouble here last time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He was hugging. Sabine was annoyed by that.
Okay. So, after she's released, Sabina's just gonna take a deep breath. She's gonna move her hands in a rounding motion in front of her. She's just gonna put the hands together then, and so she's gonna say, "Alright. That was very affectionate. Thank you. But please never do that again."
No promises.
Oh,
Crom just shrugs.
if only Matheo was here, because then Balto would just start licking you.
Oh no.
But no Matheo, no Balto.
Whistles a dog swirl over to lick her.
No!
Ooh, camel saliva is sticky.
Yeah, it would probably. She would probably like to roll like a fortitude save on that. Anyway,
If he actually did that, yes.
so as she says that, she just turns around, just picks up the plate full of cakes. She reveals the cakes, then she turns back towards all of you, and holding the plate full of cakes, which is probably about the size of her,
Close.
she presents the cake. She presents the cakes and says, "So, like I was saying, as a sign of restarting our adventure a little, from a much better standpoint, I have an offering."
What kind of offering?
She's holding actual plate full of cakes.
Crom was waiting for her to continue her speech.
She's
Yeah.
she's just silent. She's just holding out the cakes, and she's now holding the cakes towards all of you.
Once the silence grows unbearable, Crom will be like, "Oh, we'll all face to that," and he'll take one.
Oh, the cake. You mean the cake? Okay. Yeah. I'll
What
take
else?
some
What
cake.
else? What else would I think?
Sapine, I love you to death, but you're kind of an overly dramatic brat at times. And he's laughing as he says it.
Wow.
But
wow,
so I
wow.
didn't. Oh, you know I love you. And he's gonna come over and ruffle her head. He's acting like an overbearing big brother.
She. How old is you? How old is Odin?
Alden, he's like a teenager.
You know how old is Sabine?
Nope.
She's 55.
Still rather young for a gnome.
Yes, you know,
Trouble.
she's not exactly. She's like a young adult in gnome years.
Treble steps forward. Aren't you dating Matheo?
Let's not worry about that. We're eating to Sabine's restart.
That's definitely one way to say it. So yes, please, everyone, grab a cake. Even,
We're
Alden
well,
will grab a cake.
feasting. We are feasting to Sabine's restart.
When Treble grabs a cake, he inspects its quality.
okay, roll appraisal. Also, hey Pimp, welcome to the stream,
Uh,
man.
Hey, Pam.
Can I roll profession cooking instead?
Yes.
Oh shit! I said a roll. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Striker. I just took your job there.
So, if he did not have profession cooking, appraisal is what he would roll. These are some really high quality cakes. They're
This is some
sweet.
top-notch cake.
They're sweet without being too overly sickeningly sweet. They're nicely proportioned so that they're hearty but not too dense. You know, they kind of almost dissolve in your mouth without getting, all gritty. Whoever made
maybe
these
just-
knew exactly what they were doing with the ingredients they had.
Okay, so
This is some
I actually
top-notch cake.
I actually have a description of the cakes here from what Striker gave me a million years ago. They are chocolate. They're chocolate with strawberry flavored cream.
Well, not so much strawberry flavored as much as strawberry infused cream.
Oh, okay.
I am so hungry and want cake.
And I believe I also mentioned how the chocolate, the chocolate cake itself had some strawberry flavoring in the chocolate.
Oh shit! I actually did not write that down.
And it was topped with little freshly cut strawberries.
I suppose
hungry
once everyone has a slice, Crumb will lift his and say, "Tu sapin."
Yeah, Odin will raise his discipline.
Trevor raises his, already having a bite marking it. Roar, roar, roar.
What about you, Steve?
Steve will raise his.
Sapin just turns around, puts the rest of the cakes back on the table, and then she takes one as well and just raises it as well and says, to me?
Aye. He'll give her a gentle pat on the shoulder and then he'll dig into his own.
Scree. And then everyone,
then cake was had.
And then everyone falls asleep because she injected it with a sleep serum.
Well, shit.
Not
Good thing I rolled
again.
good fortitude save.
Aw, Sapine, back at it again.
No, they're okay. They're okay. That is, are they okay, Mr. DM?
So, Sapine,
Yes.
it's roughly 5:30, 17:30 in your time frame. Give or take, it's right around that time.
Okay.
Steve,
Yes.
your pocket is vibrating.
You left your phone on vibration.
Everyone else, there's a chiming coming from the doorway.
I think it's time.
Who is it this time?
I will go to the door.
There is an older lady there. A human, probably mid to late 60s. She looks very refined. She's wearing some very elegant black clothing. She's just waiting until you open the door on the other side of the gate.
I will open my door. Ah, my friends, what can I do for you on this day?
She gives you a very, kindly smile, the kind that you'd expect from, a grandma, and she says, "Ah, yes, you're the travelers who Donovan has set up here. Is that right?"
Yes, it is.
Kind of gives a very refined bow and smiles and says, "I'm Donovan's wife, Anna."
It is.
He's been very busy today with all the preparations and getting back in town, but he did want to make sure that you were all invited to the funeral tonight.
Oh, I was unaware that the funeral was happening, or that it would be happening so soon.
Well, dragons might, view time differently, but their humanoid children, their mortal children, are less patient. So they were wanting to send him off. They're going to be clearing out a spot just outside of the oasis in the desert for the event. and you are all welcome to join. It will be happening at midnight tonight.
Well, thank you for the invitation, my friend. I'll look back to the group and look back to her. I believe we will be making it. Seems kind of rather an important deal.
So, no one would have told you just because dragons don't think about telling people about culture. It's what they do. You should come in your finest and most expensive items. Fully equipped as adventurers, fully dressed as, partying, whatever is you have most expensive and the finest, you should probably wear. You should have your full wealth on display if possible.
I do have a interesting meeting with Drake later today. Maybe I'll see if I can pick up something quite nice to wear.
Oh, yes, Mr. Drake. He has asked Donovan for permission to set up what he calls a pocket shop. And he has he's open for people if they are wanting, well, mostly he said for the family since they're the ones who'll be out there, but I'm sure it probably would extend to anyone going to the funeral to go and purchase items. I don't know if he's anything about renting. He says he doesn't usually rent things out, but he is apparently selling clothing in his pocket shop.
He does have a rather fine assortment of clothing.
Indeed. As she actually gestured herself as, he did make this dress. And you realize that she actually is wearing a very fine, very simple dress.
And it looks lovely on you, may I say.
Oh, you're quite the sharp-witted goblin. And she just kind of smiles down at you.
I will smile back to her.
Says, well, he set up in an empty spot in the bazaar. We were thinking about setting up this whole, tent for him, and all he said is he just needed a section of wall for a doorway.
Reminds me of an old friend of mine. He ran his shop out of his hat. Quite an interesting fellow. I owe him a new hat.
So I said, well, I want to thank you all for everything you've done, bringing about the news. It's been hard, but Donovan is a passionate man who wears his feelings on his sleeves, but also doesn't like to talk about his feelings.
Well, he has a lot on his plate at the current moment, so...
You are not wrong. Thank you all for what you've done, and do hope to see you later tonight. She gives another bow and then starts walking away.
I will give her a bow before she walks away as well.
Did anyone go up with Steve to the doorway when he answered it?
Not in her.
I got cake, motherfucker. I am currently busy, face deep in chocolate.
Yeah, so this is Sabine's eating.
Crom would have probably gone up with him.
Okay, so you heard that whole interaction then.
Mm-hmm. Well, we can definitely be there.
But, my dear friend Crom, it seems like we'll have a rather interesting night ahead of us.
Indeed. Perhaps we can get an early night then. That way we can be up and ready during.
Well, I plan on staying up till the event. Although you can do what you believe, what you would like.
Well, I'm not sure what, other than going out to party, that there is to do in the meantime.
I've a meeting with a good friend of mine at the bar later tonight. So for the
Sounds
funeral.
exciting.
It is. It is. It's a friend I didn't know I had. And Steve will, head back towards the everyone else.
Sorry about that. My roommate came in to talk to me. Anyway.
Sacrifice the roommate.
Oh no. I need them.
So now
Anyhow.
the question is, how does Steve tell the rest of the group about the invitation, since none of them were up by the gate?
In his normal flair of saying out, my friends, we have an important date to meet at midnight today.
Sabine just turns towards him, face covered in chocolate, and with a full mouth she says,
Beat me to it.
Treble swallows his piece. It's kind of rude to talk with your mouth full.
Well, you did do it first.
But in our culture, it's okay.
Well, that doesn't excuse you. He'll just kind of smirk and pat Tribal on the shoulder much more firmly than the delicate gnome.
Tribal firmly pats you back.
Well, in the meantime, we have some time to kill. We can either turn in for an early night to wake up just before, or we can find something to do. Well, don't jump up all at once.
sorry, what did you say? My dog just assaulted me.
Crom just said, well, that means we've got a lot of time in the meantime until the funeral, so we can either turn in for an early night or find something to do in the meantime.
Treble turns to Steve.
What time is
my
the
dear
funeral?
friend.
Steve?
Steve hasn't said it's a funeral yet. He just says we have a date at midnight. That's all he said.
Well, Crom revealed it to be a funeral. Or no, he didn't actually. Never mind.
Steve,
What? Sorry.
what attire should we wear for this date?
I was informed that it's only the finest attire. You should be in full gear, as it is tradition around here.
Oh, okay. I was worried I was going to have to buy something fancy.
Well, it would be nice.
I don't know what fancy really looks like.
My friend, you see to be in the... Well, I can help you with that. We
That
can
would
go
be
out and find...
much obliged.
We can go out and find my good friend Mr. Drake, and we can pick you up something nice.
Sabine,
I look to the rest of the group. I think they may need help as well.
So I do believe Steve has mentioned Drake Industries before, especially in regards to that dress in the caldera.
Mm-hmm.
Sabine swallows what she was eating and just turns towards Steve and says, so, what do you mean by fancy? Like, how fancy are we talking?
Oh, well...
Like, are we going to a ball? Or are we going to a pub? Or where are we going?
We are going to a funeral.
Wait, who died?
The Dragon Chief? You?
From face palms.
Yeah, Steve, like, gets that little twitch in his eye, like, you just said that?
But they already, like, cut him into pieces, and they're, like, selling off the pieces. They're, like, probably using his meat to eat him because the dragons eat dragons.
My friend.
Double face palms.
Just because someone has been disemboweled doesn't mean there is not a funeral for them. Why, if you had not made it through, there would have been a funeral for you.
I'm sorry. I love that sentence. Just because someone's been disemboweled doesn't mean they don't get a funeral.
Sabine just shrugs and says, I do not mind. I don't need a funeral.
Ah, everyone needs a funeral.
I don't need a funeral. I'm not dead.
Wait,
Yeah.
do we still hold a funeral for Sabine?
She just looks at you, Tribble.
Depends on what Sabine wants. I've had a funeral for myself once. Quite an interesting day, I do say.
She then looks at Steve. This Billy.
Why did you have a funeral?
Ah, that's a long story, not something for the current time.
No,
We
no,
have
no,
like 6 hours
yeah,
until this
we have
near
time.
funeral.
We have time. Yeah, tell us, Steve. I'm personally rather interested.
Well, I mean, I had gotten myself kind of entwined with a couple of vampires at the time. They wanted new cloaks. And the only way I could get into the, estate was to have an official funeral, because only the dead were allowed in.
How was it?
It was fantastic, may I say, although quite stuffy in the coffin.
Didn't go for the whole cremation thing then?
No. Maybe another time.
Sabine casts Cure Light Wounds on Steve.
I don't think I have any damage. No, I don't have any damage.
Okay. Steve, you have Cure Light Wounds cast on you. It feels nice, but you don't feel any different.
I'm just gonna look at Sabine. My friend Sabine, that seemed a rather, not...
Well, you see, if you were undead, you would be in pain now.
Oh, I can tell you that I'm not undead.
Well, that's exactly what an undead would say.
I mean, she kind of has a point, yes.
I mean, when I met with the vampires, they told me they were undead. Quite an interesting surprise after been talking to them for several years.
That is a rather strange thing for a vampire to say. Aren't vampires supposed to be kind of subtle and sneaky and all about seducing virgins and sucking up on their blood?
Oh, my friend Sabine, it depends on the vampire. Or the house. Or the estate, as they call it.
I don't know. The bard in our town always spoke of vampires who are essentially just horrible monsters, just latching onto the necks of fair ladies and heroic heroes.
My friends, bards usually tell stories with at least a bit of truth. Although accentuated.
So kind of like
I
you.
don't think it...
Like I said, all my truths are true, my friends.
Even the lies?
Even the lies, especially the lies.
She
Apparently, need to watch
facepalms.
DS9.
She facepalms. This is too much for Sapine. She couldn't deal with this guy anymore.
Zapine,
Yes.
just backtracking a little. So, if Steve is supposedly an undead because he was raised from the grave, doesn't that make you an undead now?
She opens her mouth with her finger pointed up as if she was about to like shoot you down. Then she blinks and closes her mouth. And then she casts Cure Light Wounds on herself.
I don't know if
Oh,
it
she's
works
gonna-
if you cast it on yourself.
She looks at Trebal and says, "No, still alive."
Okay, just checking.
Ironically enough, the resurrection based, the healing resurrection based spells are all conjuration magic, not necromancy.
I conjure you to life.
Well, so the idea is that the healing spells is you're pulling energy from the positive energy plane, and so you're conjuring energy from another plane entirely. You're essentially summoning energy. And you're opening up a small window to another plane to pull out energy to use it.
Fascinating.
Thank you, oh godlike omnipotent figure of information.
Scout.
So,
Nom nom.
Sapine, you never get on to the question of whether you wanted a funeral.
Well, considering I do not want a funeral if I actually die, considering I'm still alive, that is like extra not wanting a funeral. There's like not wanting and not wanting on top. So it's like
Well,
a lot not wanting.
your recent passing has made me realize something, and that is, we should all probably write wills.
Why are you being so dramatic? That's my shtick.
Whoever I'm with gets my stuff. I don't have anyone else to leave stuff to. So.
Okay, I will be keeping Auden's body.
So, Matteo. No, he said whoever he's with, and he's currently with Matteo.
Okay, so if Auden dies, I need to kill Maffeo and then get both of their bodies. Gotcha.
No?
Balto.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Balto would rip you apart.
He wouldn't do that. He's a nice dog.
Well, he's a nice dog right up until, you threaten. Matteo. And also, if I'm already dead, then I can't try to... Honestly, I shouldn't try to protect her anyway. She's way stronger than I am.
You know what? That actually reminds me. Where's Maffeo? And what happened to Balto?
I think they're asleep over there in the not appearing in this session hut.
They whipped the treasure chest.
She looks at the room which has not appeared in session and says, "I never understood what that room is about."
I don't know, it seems like weirdly connected to reality and I don't understand it. It seems really deep, but that might just be because the only time I spent in there, I was really high on bad mushrooms.
You guys are gonna keep talking about this. I'm gonna force you to roll perception checks and see if you notice a symbol that will drive you crazy.
Actually, Striker,
yeah?
Sapine would like to roll. She would like to cast detect magic on the door to the room outside of the session.
I'm rolling perception.
Everyone roll perception, please.
Okay.
It's my perception. Plus 17.
My God, Treble.
I see you.
Oh,
Waiting on Aodin's roll.
Wait, what?
You guys kept talking. All of you are rolling perception checks. None of you are safe from this.
Oh God. Let me double check what my perception is. I was looking at my spells.
The campaign ends right
Hey,
here.
look, a nat 20.
Sabine points at Chrome. Chrome, why is there a weird dice shape?
Oh, God.
Oh my god! She points at Auden and Chrome, and she's like, why are there weird dice-shaped objects above your heads?
Okay, so Crumb, Aodin, everyone sees the hut. The hut's there. Whatever. Crumb and Aodin. There is a symbol
Oh,
above the
no.
door of said hut. That looks like it's an amalgamation of a dragon, overlaid by a different 5-headed dragon. Both of the two images are interwoven and linked by a W. Both of you roll me a knowledge religion.
hey, something I actually have ranks and stuff in.
Fuck! How the fuck am I rolling 2 nat 20s in a row?
That is 4. Oh no, I was looking at 3 nat
Yeah,
20s.
Screwed if
Aodin?
combat breaks out.
Do you follow a particular deity?
No, he he very specifically doesn't follow any of the deities.
I need you to write on your character sheet the slot under deity that you are considered a follower of Will.
Will.
Yes.
I'm gonna write down a note. I saw some weird stuff thanks to a metatextual knowledge roll.
I'm going to be giving you more information on that later. So, both of you make the check. This is you guys are metagaming here. We are dealing with things outside of the context of game and talking out of game. This is the territory of a multi-dimensional god that that is slightly insane. Sure, Rage. We'll say in a good way. And usually is a neutral deity. Usually prefers to just be a safe haven, but also doesn't like people meddling with his shit.
I think we should talk about something else, guys. I have a weird feeling. I don't know
You guys
why.
don't have forbidden knowledge you shouldn't have, so I need both of you to roll me will saves.
Oh God. I'm fucked. I'll start working on the backup character. Actually, I have a really good will save.
Okay, good. You both save, and don't have a compulsion to seek out more information on this religion yet.
Oh no.
Yeah. You guys don't take any sort of sanity-based damage for having this forbidden knowledge in your heads now. Congratulations.
Good.
Striker, I would like to apologize.
I warned you guys. I gave you fair warning. I had to step out of game here and say you guys are treading on dangerous territory.
I wasn't the one that went along with it first. I was just told to roll a perception check.
Yeah. You can blame the others for this. Alrighty. Well, that thing is now there, and it feels wrong. It feels off, and you guys don't want to look at it too long. Anyone who looks at it for any more than a few minutes will need to make a will save.
Auden, Crom,
Yeah. Yeah.
you two look like you have seen something. Are you alright?
Crom's just gonna turn around and head back to his bungalow, walk inside, close the door behind him, go over to the bed, and collapse.
Aoden,
She blinks.
you're gonna need to clean up the blood dribbling down your nose, by the way.
Auden is going to walk to one side, wipe his face off, and then just like he's not going to go to bed. He's just going to curl up somewhere and like stare at nothing for a little while and just try to blink out his mind.
Sabine looks at Steve and says, Steve? What just happened?
Oh, it seems that our friends here have learned of some interesting information.
What do you mean? I don't understand.
It's probably for the best, my dear friends.
Alright, she looks like trouble. So, trouble? What are you gonna be doing since, Auden and Chrome just... Well, they did the thing that they did?
I'm going to assume they'll be okay and be ready for the funeral. I'm gonna stick with Steve and try to buy something fancy, whatever that may be.
But we're just... Alright. She just goes to Steve, confused. Hark!
Yes. That's a friend of mine's character is Harg. He jumps worlds.
Crom also has an interdimensional friend. Or more than friend.
Congratulations, guys! You brought about a religion that shouldn't be existing in this world at this time.
We got
Wait,
Drake. Now got a religion. We're at the funeral. Everything's wrong.
How do,
Doesn't exist in this world yet.
So Striker, I have a question.
Yes.
How are you enjoying this? We are not even 1 hour in.
You guys are fantastic. Just, I was not
isn't
expecting anything
Aoden like a Isn't Aoden supposed to be like a shaman or something?
He's an oracle.
Or a prophet or oracle?
So it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Oracle of will.
Oh no, like the whole thing about Aoden is he doesn't worship any of the gods.
Except Vil.
He does now.
Oh, he does now.
Not by choice.
That's so important. So something you're gonna know now, just because you have forbidden knowledge, is that the high-ranking followers of Will aren't usually followers of Will by choice.
So does the fact that I follow Ongrad, like, clash that at all?
Nope, you're not a follower. You have a religious following, so you are not taken from that following.
Okay, good.
The divine spellcaster in the group who had no religious affiliation just got picked up by a god who shouldn't exist.
Well, time to start a new cult.
Aoden,
Yeah,
I want you to find somewhere on your paper to write a title.
sure.
You are the first Oracle of Will.
No!
This is gonna get interesting.
You are allowed to roll knowledge religion checks in order to learn things about dragons.
To learn things about dragons?
So any check that involves dragons is normally a knowledge arcana check. You are allowed to roll knowledge religion instead.
Okay. Let's write that down. This is my level 6 thing. One of my level 6 things. cake.
All right. So, is anyone going to be doing anything between now and midnight? Any shopping? Any readjusting of gear? Anything?
Well, me and Trebo are following Stevenson.
Steve will eventually go back out to look for Drake. Because he
Well,
does have that.
He had told you to meet him at the bar, right?
Yes.
When you go to the bar, they say, "Oh, he set up shop because of the funeral," and they tell you directions to empty wall in the bazaar.
I will go to this totally empty wall with no magical door in it.
So, this wall is part of a building for a storehouse,
Mm-hmm.
but this wall is blank. It's usually where people will kind of sit, meander, or wait, between stalls. But there is a door in the wall. Sapine, you've got tech. No, you've got arcane. No, you just got the tech magic going, right?
Yes.
The door's magical. You remember that portable hole that Steve found in the cave?
Yes.
This is essentially a portable hole in the shape of a door.
Oh, I honestly expected it to be a pocket dimension.
That's what a portable hole is.
Oh, I thought it's like a reality marble, essentially.
It's like an extra dimensional space.
Okay. So, Sapi's just gonna look at the door, then she's just gonna turn to Trebo and Steve and say, "So, that is a door that should not be there, and it leads into essentially a pocket dimension."
Ah, my friend Sapine, I have a good friend of mine who has a hat that does the exact same thing.
Sorry, what did you say?
Is it a cat?
No, it's a hat.
No, I meant, is it a cat in a hat?
I think it's just got it.
This is not a cat in a hat.
Steve,
Although-
are you currently wearing your new hat?
I am wearing my new hat.
All right.
Alright, so should we go through that, Steve? Is your friend safe?
Ah, none of my friends are ever safe per se, but they are my friends.
Alright, so I'm just gonna go first. I've already died, so in case I die again, I can just undie again. She just goes to the door.
The door opens. It chimes. And there is a, he's definitely an older catfolk, but his age is kind of hard to pinpoint. You think he's got silver fur, kind of those age lines, but as you examine him, you realize that those are silver scales in his fur.
What?
And he just kind of grins and says, "Greetings."
Ah, hello there. We are here with a friend. She looks through the door again, back out, and she motions for people to just like go in.
Well, Steve will bow again to Drake.
Drake will give you a very toothy smile. So cat folks usually have, rather pointed teeth, right? Cats. His are even more sharp and pointed.
Okay, fuck it. Can I roll something on this? Because this guy is weird.
Sure. What do you want to roll?
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know what I should be rolling to figure out what the fuck kind of weird mixed mash of races this guy is.
Can I roll Dungeoneering to figure it out?
You can attempt that.
Okay. Can I roll Arcana on him?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Treble?
Yes.
Treble? That there is
Yes.
a catfolk. An older catfolk, probably. Well, he could be anywhere between his early 50s to late 80s. It's kind of hard to tell. Sapine,
Yes.
this is a dragon-blooded sorcerer.
Oh, all right.
Actually, that's high enough to know he is a dragon adept or dragon disciple sorcerer. That's a prestige class that specializes in the dragon bloodline for spellcaster.
Give me a second.
Specifically for a silver dragon.
So could you please repeat what he is, because I'm making a new entry for him.
He is a catfolk silver dragon sorcerer, which is prestiged into the dragon disciple class.
What the fuck? Okay.
One of my favorite characters ever, Tech, a very arrogant little kobold that I played. He did exactly that same thing.
All right.
What you know of the dragon disciple prestige is that you do have to be some sort of arcane caster. You don't necessarily have to be a sorcerer to take it, but as soon as you become one, you have to choose the dragon bloodline sorcerer path.
Do they keep the old one?
So if you're it changes. I'm double checking. I think it changes their bloodline to the dragon bloodline. So yeah, so he must, if he's already a sorcerer, he actually has to have the dragon bloodline for a sorcerer.
Okay.
If you're not a dragon bloodline, if you're a sorcerer but don't have a dragon bloodline, you can't actually be a dragon adept or a dragon disciple.
All right. So yeah, Sapine is just gonna look at him, slightly in awe, but yeah, she's gonna be quiet and she's gonna let Steve talk.
Oh, another reason why you'd probably be looking at him in awe is every single piece of item on him is magical.
So what you're saying is that we have to kill him and get his gear.
Oh, by the way, almost 80% of the items in this room, which is a fair-sized shop, is magical clothing.
Sapine doesn't have the money to buy anything here.
And he definitely exudes an aura of power. You remember that dress? How I said it was woven of adamantine?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can tell there's a whole section of different clothing made from different metals. There's a section for adamantine, a section for steel, a section for mithril.
Mm-hmm.
There's even this green, the section of green material, which I swear is some sort of green metal. And then, everything is definitely high quality.
Mm-hmm. Give me a second. I have a video. I have a meme about this. This is basically what we just went through.
Yeah, but
Okay. She is not gonna tell Steve and Treble about this, because that would be very weird to just start talking about him in front of him.
I mean, you probably could have just asked.
Yeah, but this is Sapine.
So, what can I do for you fine gentlemen today? And gentle lady.
My friend, we need to get some new wear for the funeral tonight.
Oh, yes, that is. I wasn't sure who was exactly going, but I figured I'd set up shop. Dragons do like to spend money, as he kind of rubs his fingers together. And you notice that his fingers are clawed. And it says they do tend to like to spend lots of money, especially for big events. They like to show their wealth. Dragons measure, social power by the size of their hoard.
Does he have a horn?
There are some small horns in his fur, but they're not extremely prominent.
Okay.
Do you have a picture of him?
Of him specifically, I wish I had some artwork, but I could find something similar.
Don't worry about it right now. If you don't have it on hand, it's not a problem.
I have wanted to get artwork of this guy for a while, but it's not always easy finding artwork. Or getting someone who can do the artwork, But yeah, he says, what exactly are you looking for specifically? I've got all sorts of styles and tastes for all sorts of individuals.
Steve's gonna look at the other two, yeah.
What's appropriate for a wedding/birthday?
He
So what?
stops, looks at it, says, it usually depends on the theme of the wedding or birthday. I don't know whose wedding or birthday you're going to be going to, though.
The Elder Dragon's funeral? Oh, I said wedding by mistake. Sorry, I was thinking of Matteo and Aladdin's future.
I was so confused.
No.
You have confused everyone on the planet.
I said the wrong thing, but yeah. Sapine's birthday, because she was resurrected today. Was it resurrected day? I don't know how that works. Rebirth day?
If anything, that would happen next year.
But we just ate cake.
But the cake
By the way,
was for you.
I put what Pathfinder silver dragons look like, and his horns are very low profile on his head.
I don't know, that one looks like he's about to bend everyone over.
I mean, silver dragons are like the second or third strongest dragon.
Okay, so...
And I guess that's not terribly far off, although his tail is still cat-like.
I just looked up furry silver dragon. That's the first image.
I mean, that's one way to do it.
You're not wrong. It's not fully accurate, but it's fairly close too.
Turbo, please continue, please.
Oh, okay, fine. I won't dress up for whatever day it is for you. Then next year, then. Just some funeral attire is what I'm after. Then.
It's like, oh well, if it's for the dragon funeral, color is not necessarily the problem. It's, again, social standing for a dragon is based on wealth. They could care less what it looks like as long as it is expensive. If you're looking for an absolute color, then usually you'd go with the color of the dragon.
I have 1,000 platinum.
That can get you any number of things. If you're looking for something enchanted, it might be a little out of your price range. But if you're just looking for some high quality clothing, I can definitely do that. And if you're looking for high quality clothing that can double as armor, I can do that. It just won't be enchanted.
No, I think I'll just have non-armor clothing. I like wearing my desert gear when we're outside.
I mean, my clothing wouldn't stop you from wearing your desert gear for its intended purposes.
Oh.
I mean,
Will I still be able to wear my regular armor while wearing the clothing?
how you usually go with whatever benefits the most out of the armor. But yeah, you could wear your regular armor if you really wanted to.
Okay
Double
then.
check on
I'll go
rules
for
for
the.
stacking armor, because I know there's something specific for that.
Okay.
I know there was something, usually when you're wearing multiple armors, they can add like different layers of protection, but you also take all the penalties for them. And so I know there's something for that, and I'm trying to remember where the rules for that
Penalties are usually for spell casting.
No, armor check penalty is for dodge, your climbing, any dex or strength based skills. You also take the arcane spell failures are cumulative if they are on there. It also, you take whatever restricts your dex the most, and that one is what restricts your dex.
I've got quite high, decent dex, so I don't want to restrict it too much.
No. Steve might, if he remembers, knows a little something about Drake Industry armor.
I do. It let's see. It usually comes with a spell that makes it so that it can kind of be changed to look like whatever you want. At least in reason.
Yes, most of them do have that, or at least any of his clothing that's enchanted has that option. Non-enchanted clothing, even if it's armor, doesn't have that option because, well, it doesn't have the base enchantment. Something I do remember at least mentioning is that any armor that he makes into clothing does not have an armor check penalty nor an arcane spell failure. But the usual cost for armor like that from him is usually 10 to 20 times its normal cost.
Would I be able to possibly get an armored enchanted version? Or is that outside of my price range?
Sorry, one more time?
I asked him if I'll be able to get an armored enchanted version of clothing, or if it was out of my price range.
Well, for a base enchantment, and it also does depend on what material you're looking for. Basic steel usually doesn't modify it too terribly much. He starts going through the racks of clothing, looking at things and making sure he's checking on price. And you said you have 1,000 platinum at your disposal?
Yes.
Okay. And he says, well, I did promise Steve here a discount when he came in, so I might be able to adjust some of that price here. If you're just wanting a basic enchanted clothing, which is, just would be out of game a +1 enchantment. He says, I could find my way into doing that for 1,000 platinum.
That would be lovely.
If you do want it further enchanted, I will have to tell you that you would have to come to me. My clothing cannot be enchanted by anyone else.
I don't see a problem with that. Is this going to be one of your more regular locations?
He laughs and says, "This location is wherever I'm at."
Oh, that's quite convenient.
Well, that's why I call it my portable shop.
Ah, I see the connection there.
Says, "Is there any sort of armor you're looking for specifically?"
No, some light steel armor would be nice.
What's the kineticist armor proficiencies? Is it just light armor? Or is it light?
Yes. Oh, actually, I'll just check it quickly.
Because even if he even the clothing's lighter, and for purposes of movement is considered a light armor, your proficiencies with armor still are required. So if you're not proficient with heavy armor, you take the usual penalty for wearing heavy armor clothing.
Light armor only.
Okay. So he nods and says, "Well, unless I get you mithril, which unfortunately I can't reduce the cost on mithril items too much, I can definitely see about getting you chain shirt variant." And he pulls out a very fine shirt and doublet.
Would it be possible to use the mithril chain shirt I'm wearing now?
Here, and that's one of those things I was double checking for armor. Oh, there is rules. I have that book on hand, but right. Okay, so that'd be equivalent to piecemeal. Okay. So unfortunately, the maximum AC bonus would not apply, and you take all the penalties of wearing the regular chain shirt. And so if you already have a chain shirt, his would just be a fancier version with no penalties. But if you wore your other one over the top of it, you just take whatever bonus is the highest, but you'd also take all the penalties.
Okay. In that case, I'll just wear his. Just leave mine off.
All right, and so he goes over and pulls, and the doublet is just a +1 steel or chain shirt doublet.
+1 chain.
So it has all the benefits of a chain shirt, such as the AC bonus, but it does not have any of the drawbacks, such as the armor check penalty, or arcane spell failure, and there is no max dex bonus. And it only weighs about 5 pounds.
And max dex, 5 pounds. Can I just get? How do I spell his name? I just want to spell properly. My note.
Track.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, Trake.
Okay. 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 Sweet. Thank you.
There. And he says, of course. He looks over at Sapine, and is there anything I could do to assist you, little lady?
Ah, honestly, all I'm looking for is just something fancy. I'm not exactly a fancy kind of woman, so I don't know, something that looks nice and I don't know. I'm not looking for anything magical.
He nods, says, all right. What is your spending limit?
Sorry, what did you say?
He asks you, what's your spending limit, ma'am?
She looks in her bag, and she says, I don't know, like 1,000 gold.
Says, I might be able to do something. Do you mind? As he pulls out a piece of tape from his one of his pockets, like measuring tape.
Is there like any place that she can like go over?
I mean, he was just going to measure you right there.
Oh, yeah. She just nods.
He nods and bends down and just like pulls your arm, pulls your side, goes through your foot up, goes around you. Says, I don't need to do intrusive measurements. I can usually judge those based by the general ones.
Oh, all right. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I would hope so. I've got 60 years of doing this. And he nods and says, I think I could do something for 1,000 gold. I won't be, incredibly fancy, but kind of looks at you and says, sorcerer, right?
Yes, just like you.
He kind of rubs his chin, looks at you and says, I've got a soft spot for starting sorcerers. Nothing enchanted, but something that will at least help keep you alive in the tough times, alright? He kind of gives you a wink.
She nods.
He
Confused.
says, are you wanting traveling clothes or an actual dress?
Well, I mean, considering I was planning to only use this for this one occasion, I don't really know.
He smiles and says, so, I've been to a few dragon funerals in my time. They favor practicality over, one-time use. So, I would suggest, if you don't mind me grabbing you some high-end traveling clothes, it would be just as impressive as a high-end dress that you plan to only wear once.
Well, you seem to be experienced with this, so choose a way.
He nods and says, thank you very much.
I thank you.
Yeah, I get some people who think that they know their way around clothing more than I do, and so I just have to let them make their requests.
Well, I can promise you that I do realize that I am definitely not a tailor nor an armor smith, so yeah, I'm sure you know your way around this much better than me.
And then he looks over to you, Steve, says, and what can I do for you, my fine goblin friend?
Ah, my friend. I do need a new set of armor.
Are you currently wearing armor?
I have padded armor. That's all I have to wear.
Are you currently wearing it?
If I wasn't, I'd be naked.
So he says, so, you're looking for an upgrade in armor? Probably something you can casually wear and easily put on. How much is your spending limit?
Let's see. That would give me 1,000. About 3,000 platinum, my good friends.
He goes, ooh, 3,000 platinum. That is something I might be able to do some things with. Not a lot, but at least I get some flexibility there. Kind of stretches and goes. All right. Were you wanting anything specific?
No, my friend. I am open to any idea.
Okay. Steve, I'd like you to roll me your diplomacy for price,
Diplomacy.
or whatever it is you roll for barter.
I guess that would be diplomacy because there is no barter.
Yeah.
I mean, you can also bluff your way through that.
That's true.
They're the same exact score for bluff and diplomacy. But I would prefer to do diplomacy.
That's a good roll. That is a stellar roll. He's still gonna take all 3,000 of your platinum.
That's fine.
That's just gonna get got.
Mhm.
But he is going to work some of his magic here, and he starts pulling out some cloth and says, "All right, if you guys don't mind, it'll probably be about an hour for me to get everything for all of you done before the funeral."
That sounds fantastic, my friend.
Sabine looks at her time.
It is 6 o'clock.
All right, so.
Bean, what are you looking at?
Oh, I'm looking at the time that is on my eyesight ever since I died.
Oh, you died or you died recently?
Yes, and ever since I see time, it's weird.
I taste sound
Oh, you died too.
once or twice.
Awesome. She actually walks up to the desk, table, whatever, and she actually pulls out the one cake that was supposed to be for Maffeo, but he's not here, and she just leaves the cake, the delicious-looking cake, on the table.
Well, this is mighty nice of you. I'm not much one for sweets myself, but he opens up a bag, pulls out, he pulls out a piece of cloth, he unfurls it, and it's another portable hole-like thing, except for it's only about the size of a dinner plate. Puts it up against the wall. He as he unfurls it, and it sticks there. He lifts the cake and puts it in there, and reaches in, and you hear a knock.
This guy's weird.
And then and then you hear like a door opening and a really high pitched squeal, and a "thank you, honey," and then a door closing. And he smiles and says, "But my wife absolutely adores sweets."
I have to say that it was a very interesting experience we just had between each other.
What, you haven't heard of a shared pocket space?
Well, I definitely heard of it, and I think our friend Steve actually has something similar. Right, Steve? She looks at him.
Well, I have a more basic, just portable hole.
Oh yes, this as he takes the hole off the wall and folds up the cloth and puts it back in the bag, much more expensive than your basic portable hole. And he puts the bag down behind his counter.
Interesting. And yeah, she just smiles and goes back to Steve.
So he's pulling different pieces of cloth off from bolts that he has as he starts working on your two things. Because yours require just a little bit more work than the doublet that he had available for the dwarf. And so, and he's like, if you want, you can sit and watch. Just I may step away for the final bit.
Steve seems intrigued at the ability to watch a master at work.
So he pulls out
This could be
some
quite fascinating.
scissors,
Sabine just looks at Treball.
Look at her.
So
Yes.
Treball, do you want to stay here and watch?
I mean, it could be quite fascinating. Yes, I'd like to stay.
She shrugs. Well, guess we are staying here. Here.
So yeah, he pulls out a pair of enchanted scissors that are pitch black. And he pulls over the thread of, or the cloth of silvery cloth, and it says, "And we'll start with yours, little lady, since yours I thankfully don't have to actually enchant." And it says, "Do any of you have a dagger or a knife, just so I can kind of show off a little?"
I will pass him my masterwork knife.
He nods and says, "Oh, I don't need to use it." He actually holds up the cloth and says, "Stab it."
Do you want me to roll to hit? Okay. Good thing. 1d20 plus. What is that now? Plus 9. Whew!
You hit. Go ahead and roll damage for your dagger.
Actually, wait, what was that? That was a 19, so that's a crit, so that's times 2.
Well, you're against an object, so you don't
Yeah.
have to worry about that.
I mean, it's not much damage anyway. It's still just a 1d4.
So yeah, you go and you know you hit it, and you slash across it, and you don't even scratch the metal.
Impressive, my friend.
It is very difficult to cut steel on a good day. And well, steel when it's woven is actually much tougher than just a sheet of steel.
Oh, I'm sure Chrome would manage to do so.
Oh, also the strength of the wielder, it plays into account, but it's I'm just like demonstrating because I also like showing off my tools as he picks up the scissors and effortlessly slices through the cloth with the scissors.
Does it slide across?
Yes.
Doesn't even have to cut it? Fantastic.
He does squeeze a little bit as he goes through, but yeah, it just makes a nice even cut all the way through.
I'm imagining Steve having those scissors, but instead of using them on cloth, he would just use them in combat.
I mean, who says he hasn't used these in combat? They're adamantine scissors with a enchantment to bypass some additional hardness and hit points.
I mean, I personally in real life would prefer to bypass hardness.
Oh yeah. But yeah, and so he just starts cutting, and then he and gets the sizes that he needs, and pulls out a piece of thread and a metal, a black metal needle, and he threads it, and the needle has the same enchantment as the scissors. And he just starts stitching the pieces together, and he goes through this like incredibly fast. Like you almost don't even see the stitches as he's going through, and he's already moved on to the next piece to stitch together. It's almost almost like watching water flowing down a river. And after about half an hour after you, or 40, or not half an hour, 15 to 20 minutes after you started watching him, he pulls off the final stitch, ties it, nods, and says, "All right." And he holds up the dress, or the traveling clothes, and again he's got the cloak, the undershirt, the pants, everything you'd need for your basic traveling clothes. And he nods and says, "All right, little lady, here you go." And he offers you a folded set of clothing.
Yep. She's gonna get up. she's gonna walk up to him, and she's gonna look it over. Can I roll appraisal on this?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
These are very nice.
Yep.
Very. So you notice the cloth. One side was really shiny, whereas the other side wasn't as shiny. He made sure that the duller side was the one that was exposed.
Okay, so...
And but on the inside, it is more shiny.
Alright, so yeah, she's just gonna look at him and says, so how much?
Look, like I said, 1,000 gold. That was our agreement.
Alright. So yeah, she just goes to her bag, and she pulls out 100 plat, and puts it on the table.
Okay. He'll smile. He'll grab it. He'll start, just his fingers rapidly pulling them closer, and he says, "All right." Scoofs them up and puts them down. So Sapine, when you wear all the pieces of this, it provides a +4 AC bonus.
Yo. So what should I name this as?
Whatever you would like. It's a custom piece made just for you.
Armored Traveler Robe.
And it only weighs 2.5 pounds.
+4 AC. And it, how much?
2.5 pounds.
2.5. Okay.
There is no arcane spell failure, there is no armor check penalty, and no max dex bonus.
Okay, so...
Or there's a limit to the max dex bonus.
Okay, so could you repeat it, please? So I can write it down.
So there is no limit to max dex.
Dex, uh-huh.
The armor check penalty is 0.
Mm-hmm.
The arcane spell failure chance is 0.
That's amazing. That is so much better than the thing I was planning to buy.
He nods and says, "And if you do ever want it enchanted, you are going to have to come to me."
Oh, are you
It is.
Are you usually here, or I presume you travel?
Oh, yes, I travel a lot, but I'll be here for, well, until this whole conflict is resolved. Quite literally, it is impossible for anyone who does not have the right training to enchant this, and currently, there are only 3 people with the training in the world.
What does Sapine's floating buddy think about this?
She's been observing, but quite quiet. This is not exactly her area of expertise.
Oh yeah, that actually reminds me. Yeah, so people totally are. So yeah, as she's holding this and she's paying for it, she's just gonna look up at the floating gem around her head, and she is just gonna say, "So, Emily, what do you think about this?"
That is some exquisite crafting there.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Nope, she does not remember anything. Her memory is still not great. Says that's on par with things that we could have made back in my time. Troy goes, "Oh, you have an Aslanti artifact. How interesting."
Ah yes, this is Amalith.
He kind of bows and says, "Hello, Amalith. An AI construct, I take it?"
Well,
It's like, well, oh, I'll let you do it.
Well, she is. Well, it is a little complicated, but let's just say that she's not exactly an AI construct.
She goes, "I'm an experiment in trying to copy a soul artificially.
Yes.
And copy my mind so that the soul has memory." although the whole thing's kind of fuzzy. He nods and says, well, those are some noble things. I have not personally ever heard of those types of experiments, and I've been traveling quite a bit.
Do you by any chance know how to make some kind of automaton, or maybe like a automaton body that I could potentially insert her mind into such a body?
He kind of shrugs and says, unfortunately, that's outside my area of expertise.
Huh? You seem to know your stuff. Maybe do you know anyone in the area who might know more?
In the area, no. I know some people back in Absalom who are definitely golem crafters, but that is half a year's travel away. Well, half a year's travel for most people.
Well, if we cannot find anything here, we might actually go there, Amalif.
She says, well, again, if my lab is intact, we might be able to find something there.
Yes, that's definitely another choice. It's just, I'm trying to get options.
Trake raises an eyebrow at all this, but doesn't say anything.
Anyway, thank you. It looks wonderful. And yeah, she just takes the rope.
And he nods and says, if you want, he gestures to a curtain kind of off to the side. There is a changing area over there.
She thinks about it, then she shrugs and says, yeah, might as well. And she goes there.
All right.
So how difficult is this to put on? Compared to a normal Troubles robe?
No different.
Okay, yeah, she just puts it on.
This is stitch for stitch, exactly like a regular traveler's clothes. Except for, obviously, the stitches are woven of steel.
Okay.
Essentially, think that these clothes are like Kevlar.
Okay.
And he goes, oh, right, and for Steve, yours is going to have to be a little bit different. So the bolts of cloth he have, looks like they already have the baseline enchantment for like a +1 enchantment already.
Okay.
Mostly for Sabine, who has the detect magic, who's able to tell that. And, he takes his scissors, and these ones he actually does have to, start cutting into and cutting. And the material he's got for you, Steve, definitely does not look like the same material he used for Sabine.
I mean, could I do a
Appraise?
like appraisal?
Or if you have profession, clothing or anything like that.
Clothing. Well, my profession clothing is worse than my appraisal, unfortunately.
Well, then roll appraise.
Mm.
Although, again, the specific profession would have a lower DC.
You know what? I'll go for it.
Yeah,
for my profession clothing.
So, from what you know, from what you've seen, and what you've looked around, you can kind of you're starting to get a feel for the different materials. You can also see, considering their signs that say adamantine section, steel section, mithril section, living steel section.
Put the colors together.
Yeah. This material is probably mithril that he's got for you.
Whew. Okay.
And so yeah, and he's having to kind of actually cut into it, make sure it cuts through in a straight line correctly. And there's just a bit more to his. You've got a bit more fabric, even though you're both small creatures. He got more fabric for you, and he starts cutting more pieces. Well, you've got, and essentially you've got just like a very basic, suit, effectively.
Okay.
So that picture of the goblin that we had for you, which was what the probably from the Blizzard's whatever trading goblin, Hearthstone goblin.
Kind of, yeah.
You know how he was wearing kind of that fancier outfit? That's kind of what he's making for you. And you see him as he's going through the process of making something like that.
Okay.
And you know, you see him going step by step, sewing in the buttons, you know, stitching things together. Again, using the adamantine needle and the mithril thread. And his hands are just like a blur of motion as he's going through, you know, not really stopping as he does until he's done with the stitch, ties it off, cuts it, and then moves on to the next stitch. You know, doing folding, cutting, stitching. It's an amazing process. It's fascinating. And he gets a couple of pieces, and he gets all the clothing done. He nods at it and says, "All right, give me a moment. I will just need to go to my back room, and I'll be right back." He pushes a button on his table there, and you hear the main door lock. It's not that I don't trust you; it's security.
Understandable, my good friend.
And he takes the clothing into the back. And so it took about half an hour so far to get all this. So it's been 45 minutes total since you guys made your orders. And 10 to 15 minutes later, he comes walking out with your fully enchanted armor set and puts it down.
Okay. It looks fantastic, my friend.
So the armor has a +1 enchantment.
Okay.
A 6 AC bonus, so a total of +7. And
Okay.
the same as Sapine's, no max dex limit, 0 armor check penalty, 0 arcane spell failure. Although yours does weigh a little bit more since there's more material, and it does weigh about 5 pounds.
Okay. I am overweight.
Well, you better jog.
He does also ask if he can take your padded armor off of
Wow, that would be fantastic.
it. And he takes it, and he just sets it aside.
Well, after I change into this, because I don't actually have anything else to wear.
Yes.
+1.
Have you already subtracted your platinum from your inventory?
I have, yes.
Okay.
I've already subtracted and saved.
Okay. I'm assuming you just gave him a bag with all the plat in it?
You know what? I have that random coin purse, sir.
Oh,
That
yeah, you
actually
do have
random
a coin
coin
pouch
purse.
that pulls out the money in the correct amounts that you want.
Mm-hmm.
That's useful. All right, and you come out and you come out looking quite dapper. And it does have the Glamored enchantment. That comes default with his stuff. Oh, let me double check. Got the price right. You did actually get a really good check there. Yeah, good. You do have, what was it? Minor? Yeah, energy resistance, electricity 5.
Oh, okay. Energy resistance of 5. Okay.
Oh no, sorry. The weakest one is 10, so energy resistance 10.
Oh.
And so your armor will absorb the first 10 points of electricity damage per attack that you would normally take.
That is actually fantastic for what we're going up against.
Yeah, it's like someone here in the Caldera talked to him about what you guys will potentially be facing. He goes, and again, as with Sapine's armor there and his, if you want brain enchanted, I or my associates are the only ones who could do it. Well, and I don't think you want to trust my apprentice to do it at the moment. He's still learning.
There's always a learning experience, but I believe I will go to the best that I know, of course.
Yep. So, and again, that would be me or my wife, but she's in Absalom right now, so I'm probably your closest contact. All right. Well, is there anything else I could do for you, all my friend?
I will look back to the other two. Say, is there anything else that you two might need from my good friend here?
Not at the moment. I'm also pretty much out of coin at this point.
Indeed, same here.
I would like to extend an offering of friendship if you two are interested. I assume Steve here already knows it.
So, what kind of friendship are we talking about?
So, if you ever find yourselves with talking with a merchant and you have the and you're looking to try and maybe see about a discount or maybe unusual wares that individual might have, you could always try telling them a specific phrase. And this phrase may open up options with them for you.
So, is this like a secret society that we are about to enter, and are we gonna have to do some kind of blood ritual or something?
No blood ritual. I'm just going to tell you a passphrase, and you will need to keep it in mind.
So, how much do we pay for this?
Oh, this is just me extending it as a option of friendship because I have come to enjoy your company because Steve here has made it very interesting with you all.
Well, then there's no reason to say no. I can see only positives. I see this as an absolute win.
Trying to make sure I get the exact wording here because that is very specific.
I do have it here too.
If you could share that with them specifically.
Okay. I'm gonna send it to all three of you just so that I make sure it is correct. Pretty sure this is. There we go.
Yes. So yeah, that one.
And then. Faith.
And I think you've said it in game, so I can say it. But
I
this
have.
is something that specifically you three have access to at the moment. And that is, Talon is a good friend.
So, who's Talon?
And when you actually ask that, he gets this incredibly sad look that just kind of shadows him and says, he was like a brother to me.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Well, he made a mistake of grabbing what he knew was a cursed sword, and he paid the price for it.
Ah, this is why you always should have scrolls of remove curse.
He just kind of smiles and says, that would not have helped.
Oh, was it like some kind of like very powerful ancient curse?
It was a god-cursed item.
Alright, Drake?
Drake?
Yeah, sorry, Drake! Drake!
I mean, he is a dragon, so... Or dragon-blooded, sort of, so...
Alright, Drake, I have a very important question.
Yes?
Who are you?
He stands up and says, I am the proprietor, owner, and main designer for Drake Industries.
She thinks for a moment and says, so kinda like that rope I saw back in the city.
Oh, yes, my cousin. He's been trying to sell that for some time now. I was going to come and visit him and see if he had made any headway on that. He has, I agreed to let him sell it for a ridiculously discounted price.
Oh. That's discounted.
Oh, yes.
Oh, he's only selling it for 9,000 gold. It would be worth close to, say, 100 from my own, appraisal.
You see him cringing. Oh gosh, that's so low. That's so low.
She shrugs and says, well, I didn't like the color.
Well, the color can change. That's not a problem.
Wait.
It's just default because...
Wait, it can change?
Can I slightly change the color on my outfit, just as an example?
Yes, you can.
I'm gonna slightly change the color on my outfit, just as an example. For Sapine.
Well, I didn't know that.
Oh, yes, that's an off-the-shelf, but a very high-end off-the-shelf item.
Well, if I knew, I would have probably bought it at the time. If I had the money, that is.
Oh, yes, I was giving him the shelf here.
So, sorry, you like that? What happened? What did you say, Striker?
He says, yes, if he couldn't sell it, I was going to take it off the shelf. He has a specific time limit to get that sold by. It's not quite up yet, but he is getting close to that time frame.
She just nods to herself. All right, so I need to get myself 9,000 gold and go there and buy it.
Yes.
And then change it into green.
There was
Again,
a contract to be completed for them.
What's that?
Oh, Trouble's like, we did complete a contract for them. Remember? The captain? The 200 gold?
That's 200 gold.
No, I'm just saying you to put that towards the dress.
I mean, we are gonna be getting that gold no matter what.
Well, yeah. So all you really need is 700.
I want you all to roll me a perception check because Drake is kind of mumbling to himself.
Right.
The crazed mumblings of a mad cat.
Literal mad cat.
That's the wrong thing.
Yo.
Some.
Steve, why do you have such insane stats?
I don't know.
Focus.
16, 17. Checking the sheet. 17.
Every level up, I get 10 skill points.
Oh, you're a rogue.
I get a rogue of 8, and then plus the 2 from it.
Yeah, you get like 80 million points because you're a rogue.
So, Sapine, you hear him mentioning something about the discount and how he can't believe he agreed for that low. Steve and Treble, you hear that he's the more specific that he can't believe that he is allowing that to be sold for 225th of its original price.
Alright, well, my appraisal was very much off.
Do you guys want to know how much that particular item is normally?
Yeah.
Or do you want to wait and be surprised?
Tempting.
Because the math was given to you. I'm more than willing to just tell you what that price is.
I'm just trying
You know how we are with math.
to be fancy and do the math myself, but I got 35, and I think that's wrong.
So that item normally goes for 2.03 million.
mill.
Alright guys, we need to go back into the town and we need to burn that shop to the ground and steal it!
Why? I mean, Steve can literally buy it and turn a huge profit.
That's also true. Steve, you should go there, buy it, and then resell it.
You're a businessman.
Just fucking... we will buy the Oasis, goddammit.
Oh. Would you like your clothing bound to you so that only you could use it?
No, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't normally do this for this low end, but I'm still willing to do it for you.
Yeah, so Sabine just shakes her head and says, no need. At some point I might want to resell it.
And says, well, I mean, the binding can be moved to someone new when you sell an item.
That seems like too much of a hassle.
Yeah, not as much of a hassle as you might think, but I understand.
Actually, well, if it can be moved, then I'd like it to be done, please.
Can't do it to yours, unfortunately.
Oh.
Yours
Okay.
is not enchanted.
Oh, so Sabine also cannot do it.
Oh, that's right. Yours is not enchanted, it's just normal. So I guess he's offering this to Steve.
Sure, my good friend.
All right. Can I see your hand for a moment?
I will give him his quite small hand compared to his own.
He pulls out a pocket knife, a black bladed pocket knife, and he slits your hand. So sorry about this. He opens up the breast pocket, or the breast of your new clothes, and he says, "I need you to put it on this particular patch." And you notice that there is a somewhat off-color patch on the inside.
He will put a little bit of the blood on that patch.
And as soon as you do, the patch adjusts color. Not a lot, but it is a noticeable color. And it says, "All right, now it's bound to you. If someone attempts to steal this from you, within an hour, it'll come back to you."
Oh,
I thought mine was enchanted.
Was yours enchanted?
Yeah, for the 1,000 plat.
That's right. Yours was enchanted. It was the Peen who was not. Yours was. So yours can be bound as well.
Oh, okay.
So and it also means that you cannot sell it. Like if you attempt to sell it, when the item returns to you, so will the money used to purchase it. And if there is an intent to sell, it reverts back immediately.
Oh.
So the person you try to sell it to will see that, there was some sort of chicanery happening. And he goes to trouble and says, "You would like that bound as well?"
Yes, please.
Okay.
And I hold out my
Yeah.
hand.
Yep. He wipes the blade off and then holds it, and then takes your hand, slices it, opens up the inside of the coat, and has you place your hand on a similar patch.
I do as instructed.
It changes, and he nods, and now that's bound to you.
Thank you.
Well,
Sorry, baby.
well, I see that you guys are done making brothers between each other.
It's just the easiest way to bind something to someone is by blood. That way the binding can't just be undone.
Babies. Hey, Sparkplug, welcome to the stream. You are here slightly late, 2 hours in, but it's nice to have you here, man.
Sorry about the loud baby noises there for you.
It's fine.
The child speaks.
I can't think of any baby that likes getting their diaper changed. All right. Well, you guys have purchased some items here.
Mm-hmm.
You guys gotten your first taste of Trake Industries ware.
I love it already.
And oh, so Spine, you asked who he was, right?
Well, yes.
And all he said was Trake of Trake Industries. He does smile and says, "Oh, and I guess you could say I was a former adventurer. It's been a long time since I was actively adventuring, though."
Oh, do you know Donovan by any chance?
Oh, yes, me and him were traveling companions.
Interesting.
Uh,
It seems like all of the important people in this entire area have been companions at some point.
well, I mean, we kind of all got together, and we're coming together to go see someone.
Babies. Babbies.
Bobbies.
Babbies.
All right, the changing of the child is complete.
Does the name Grey de la Wolf ring a bell?
He nods and says, "Yep, traveled with Gray.
Hmm.
He's he's an interesting young fellow."
Interesting. So, I seem to be creating. I seem to be putting together this group of yours.
Well, not all of us. Some of us have definitely gone separate ways.
Like who?
Oh, I believe our healer decided to go and sequester herself in Varesia, to the far north.
What was her name again?
Shauna. She was interesting. She well, she fell in love with the nature.
Okay, so
And
what did you say? Sorry, that was kind of loud.
she fell in love with the nature of the wild land of Varesia, and didn't. She had the mixture of wanting it tamed and wanting to leave it wild.
Well, I already like her.
Yep. And well, my wife was a part of our traveling troupe too, which she's in Absalom right now, taking care of the shop.
Alright, so this is going to be kind of a shot in the dark. But was one of your companions, has he become an innkeeper in the city?
Throg? No, but we were good friends with him.
Okay. I'm like,
I believe he and my cousin traveled and around for a while.
making like a companion family tree here.
A companion web?
Yes. I am onto you, Striker. I will put this shit together.
He wants us
Bloody
to put.
Witweaver.
Hey, it's not like I'm keeping it secret from you. You're asking and you're getting information. I mean,
Alright, and
most of these individuals are so powerful they don't care if you know about their past.
alright, and the last question, does the name Astorian ring any bell?
Nope. Can't say I know anything about an historian.
She shrugs. Weird, mysterious man who is a druid who can cast powerful magic and is extremely powerful in magical energies.
Ooh.
I know one specifically. I know I met the ghost of the Caldera as a kid. He was pretty mysterious.
Goes to the caldera.
Yeah. Guy who goes around saving people. Everyone thinks he's a ghost, but he's just a really weird dude who likes nature.
Does he have glowing neon eyes?
I'm sorry, what was that? There was
Does he have
child being loud.
Does he have glowing neon eyes?
Yeah, glowing blue eyes. Very bright. That was the one distinguishing feature I can remember from all the way back then.
Oh right, so it is the same. It is the same person. She looks up at the floating gem and says, "Hey, Amalev, your brother is called the Ghost of the Caldera."
You've met the ghost?
Yeah, of course.
Huh.
At this point, we are kind of good. We are. I would not say good friends, but we are definitely friendly.
Oh, well, that's pleasant. Most people just think it's a rumor or a myth. I've only met like maybe 3 or 4 people who've literally met him and believed me
Oh yeah,
that he wasn't a ghost.
yes, you see, he touched me, and ever since then, I can do strange magics that I never learned.
He opens his mouth and then closes it and says, "You might want to work on your wording on that."
It's alright. It's alright.
Is that why your hand constantly glows with arcane with arcane energy?
Yes, and then you see, I died, but before I went further in death, I actually had a nice chat with his with a part of him. You see, he's kind of like split into parts. It's kind of complicated with him.
Huh. So ghost may not be inaccurate either.
Well, the thing that most people here see is actually his body, is his physical manifestation, but he lacks a soul and a mind.
Wait, how does that work?
Well, it's because he's kind of split into 3 parts. I already explained it. Are you not paying attention, Trebal?
It's not my fault your life is complicated.
It's not complicated. How is it complicated? I just died and came back, and I had a weird meetup with a man who split into 3 parts. Is that not normal?
Isn't he one of the parts that are like gonna blow up the world in the north?
Ah, yes. Oh, also, he's going south, not north.
Oh.
the fact that DM is rolling so many die.
So Trick's eyes go wide and he says, he can't be. I knew he wasn't undead because he used healing magic on me, but no, he couldn't be.
Oh?
I thought those were just rumors and myths.
So, what do you have on your mind?
Did he happen to know what he was?
So, what do you say?
He asked, did he happen to know what he was?
Well, it's complicated because the thing that was when I was dead, that one pretty much knew. The one that's walking the land, that one doesn't know. That one doesn't. He doesn't even remember his name. He doesn't remember his sister. She points at the floating gem.
Well, that helps investigate some theories about what those are and about how they function. But again, I only heard rumors and I didn't think they were actually real. Well, if I come across them, I'll have to thank him for saving me again and see if I can talk with him.
Yeah, he seems to be a rather nice conversationist once you actually get him to converse with you.
Yes, he was very stoic when I met him.
Just don't expect many answers, just more and more questions.
Well, usually beings of, massive power are like that, as he smiles.
Would you like us to give him a business card if we bump into him?
No, it's fine. I'm eventually going to go to the Caldera at some point. I'll either bump into him or I won't.
Oh yes, and as we've mentioned, if his body dies, it explodes and takes most of this area with him.
He nods and says, that aligns with the information that I have.
May we ask what that information you have is?
Oh, so if he is what I suspect he is the embodiment of a arcane well of energy.
Yes, that is what I know as well.
I guess a really dumbed down way to say it is he's a mobile magic elemental. A mobile magic elemental with a death throes if he were to be killed.
Is there any way we can help him?
You know, there's almost no information on arcane wells because they're that incredibly rare. Like I said, before this moment, I thought they were rumors at best.
I look to the gem.
What?
Do you know of any way to help?
Don't worry. I've already spoke to Amalif about this, and well, she has a little problem with certain memories.
Look, I was a researcher in soul magic, not arcane energy. I don't even know what an arcane well is.
Oh, I've been meaning to ask you, and I may just be not understanding this because this is all brand new to me. So, you said you're an artificial soul?
Well, that's the idea. We made we constructed a cell gem to be able to hold a soul and a mind, but it was not naturally made, so we had to. The experiment was that we could copy my mind and soul onto the gem while I was still able to function. But I don't remember how that ended because I am the experiment. I potentially have a soul. It may not be a real soul. It may be just as legitimate as my original soul. I don't know.
As long as I can make sure that you can move about and have a somewhat normal life, doesn't matter if you have your original soul or new soul or inorganic soul.
Again, research was my passion, so if we could figure out whether it is or not, that might mean that perhaps we could. My experiment wasn't complete full of hork. If
And
it's just my
Couldn't
original
we-
soul on here, then well, my research was all for nothing.
Couldn't we just ask like we did with getting Sapine's soul back? Whether it's been claimed or not?
well, something tells me it's more complicated than that, especially because the soul is probably already far gone, if it's already been gone.
Yeah,
I'm
do you
pretty sure-
understand what happens to a soul when they die?
I preferred not to until recently.
So normally, a soul will go to the graveyard of Pharasma, where they'll await judgment and reincarnation. If I died
Couldn't we-
over 8,000 years ago, do you really think my soul is still in the graveyard waiting for reincarnation?
No, but couldn't we ask? May I ask if your soul passed through or not?
I mean, are you a follower of Pharasma? Are you a cleric of Pharasma who can just, commune and ask her a question?
We do know one who is here, though.
Yes. See, we know one.
Bethany, the cleric you talked to, is not a cleric of Pharasma.
Darn.
You guys remember she was a healing paladin of Serenray. Or not paladin, cleric of Serenray. She just has to commune with Pharasma to see if a soul can be brought back or not. Any additional conversations about that would have to be done with a cleric of Pharasma.
Would you like us to try and find one to find out?
I mean, if you want, I guess it would be nice to know if the soul I have is an actual soul or not. Although, for all we know, that information might just be entirely lost.
Sabine is already writing that in her journal.
Drake kind of caresses his chin fur and goes, I mean, I've known a few clerics of Pharasma in my time.
Sapine's head suddenly just goes up and looks at him. Do you know any that are around here?
Oh, no. They usually stayed in their temples, or, well, there was this one. Let's not talk about him. It's best if we don't talk about him.
Please tell me.
He's like, well, the door's still locked, so we should be fine. He took up a very specific profession within the Pharasma clergy.
Oh, do go on.
He became an assassin of sorts.
She looks at Steve. So him and Steve should probably be friends.
Don't know why he would be friends specifically with Steve.
Wait, I thought Steve was a businessman.
I am a businessman. Well, goblin.
So, the assassins of Pharasma are not your average assassins. They don't just kill anyone. They specifically assassinate undead.
Okay.
They usually have daggers, which most people don't understand what the daggers are actually used for, and use them incorrectly.
Okay. So, Sapine's just gonna say, so where could we find him?
Oh, heavens if I know. He does a lot of traveling for their work,
So
and we did not necessarily leave on the best of terms.
So what's his name?
You know, for your safety, I'm not going to tell you that.
Please.
No, seriously, for your safety, I am not going to tell you that.
Please. You will be helping a lady in a gem who is a very, very, very long time dead, probably. Very old. But also not very old. I'm really sorry, Amal, if I don't mean it that way.
He looks at Amalith and says, I'm sorry, madam, but I am not going to put any of you in jeopardy with a homicidal sociopath.
Give me a second, I need to check my skills.
About to try to diplomacy this name out of him. There's Peen.
Yep, she will roll diplomacy. If you allow it.
You can roll it.
Alright.
See, what is his DC against you going to be? He's definitely, not hostile or unfriendly. He's probably more friendly than anything else, but he's definitely not going to be helpful.
Remember, she gave him cake.
Yeah?
Okay, so before she's gonna attempt, she's gonna touch herself.
Lewd.
And, give me a second, I think I have an item here that will help.
Sorry, what's that?
Give me a second, just a second. Oh no, that's for bluff, no! Motherfucker. Okay.
Yeah, Sapine?
Yeah?
What's your roll?
I'm rolling now.
Not a terrible roll.
It's because she has an item called essentially Braces of Glibness, right? So I had a look-see if the Glibness gives to all charisma rolls and such, but no, it's just for bluff.
So, I'm looking at everything here, and he's going to shake his head and say, seriously, I want to help you, and I will do everything I can to help you and your gem friend, but he is definitely not someone you want to ask for help. Because he's actually more likely to take your friend there and do with as he pleases.
I mean, we can just pretend that she is just a floating gem that creates light.
And yet you're wanting to go and ask him about her soul.
We don't have to tell him the whole story.
You're gonna find better clerics who are more willing to help you without wanting to murder everyone in your party.
Why would he you said that he just kills undead creature.
So that faction of Pharasma hunts undead. He is a little bit zealous in that pursuit.
Well, thankfully none of us are undead. We actually even tested it in the morning today. Oh well, in the afternoon today.
He kills people who've been resurrected as
Well, good thing that we don't have to tell him that I was resurrected.
You don't have to tell him that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think you'd have a way of knowing, given he talks to a deity of death.
I give up.
Seriously though, it's for your protection. I am not going to be telling you where he is, but I can definitely get you in contact with some others. It might take some time if I can even get a hold of them if they're still alive. But as soon as I can get in contact with them, I will notify you. And he pulls out a business card and hands it to you.
She takes it, she smiles and says, I would appreciate that greatly. Not for me, but for my mother's sake.
Well, yes, of course. And if it was anyone else you were trying to get information on, I'd probably be more than willing to help you. But he's not someone I even want anywhere near this area. He's just that dangerous, and I apologize.
It's alright. I at least tried.
Yes.
So, hey Nakaroli. Welcome to the stream.
Says, well, is there anything else I can help any of you with?
You've been quite helpful already. I can't think of anything more.
Says, well, you have a wonderful day. And then the door tries to open, and then someone knocks on the door.
It's still locked.
It never ends.
He's like, I should probably unlock the door now that I'm not enchanting. And he presses the button again, and you hear it unlock. And the door opens up, and it's Bethany walking in, actually.
Oh,
Sup in waves.
She nods and says, oh, you're all here. I figured if we have a world premier armor crafter here, I might as well come and get something better than just my my work scrubs.
Well, I can definitely say that he is rather amazing.
Goes, yes, you've gotten yourself some better equipment, I see. Trace says, yes, welcome. I am more than happy to see about that. Come over here and I'll get your measurements and we'll discuss prices. And he looks at you guys. And it has been a pleasure, and I hope to see you all again later tonight.
thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Crom, you were just going to rest, is that right?
Yes.
Same with Aodin?
Pretty much, yep.
All right. You don't necessarily need to sleep between that time, but definitely rest. And you guys are going to get back. Late at night.
Tom was already back. He was collapsed in his bed.
Well, I'm saying that the other three who are heading back after getting new clothing.
Oh, okay.
Nope, late at night. That's nothing to worry about. So, All right. It's actually a fairly quiet walk back to your executive suite.
To our executive suite.
You do get a couple glances of people, eyeing you, mostly just because you're wearing high-end clothing now. A couple rumors of things. You guys can roll a perception check if you'd like.
Yes.
Sure.
Oh my god.
Ignore that.
117! Can never fail.
That man has only put skill points in.
Actual god.
All right. Treble and Steve are able to kind of catch and hear that people are like, oh, is that is that from that new shop? The trach wares? Probably go and check that. Yeah. And you see some people actually heading towards the bazaar afterward.
As we're walking, I'm going to adjust mine to bronze.
All right. Yours did. No, wait, no. The enchanted, yes, the enchanted does have that adjustment. That's a default on the enchantment.
Yes, I recall.
I'd like to make mine so it matches the same color as my top hat. Although I don't think you ever specified what color the top hat was.
What color do you want the top hat to
Purple.
be?
You know what? Purple is a very Steve color.
Okay. Well, as soon as you think about it, the top hat is purple, and so is your clothes.
Oh, the top hat's enchanted.
It is. It has a much limited range. It can't change shape or appearance, but it can adjust color.
Okay.
But the clothing itself has a glamour where you could actually change how it looks.
Oh, look at you two being all shiny and stuff.
One must make an impression.
Oppression?
An impression.
I could have
I
sworn
just-
I heard oppression, so.
Say, you're the one. I think you're the one who told me it's appropriate to go in the same color as the dragon's funeral.
Yes.
Well, he said that there's no specific color, but if you're worried about color, the most appropriate would be the same as the dragon.
That was Drake that said that.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, and there you go. Yeah. Back at the cabana. Is there anything else you guys want to do while you're there?
So, as we arrive there, and I presume Steve is gonna be unlocking the gate,
Mm-hmm.
Sapit is just gonna look at both of them and say, do you think they are writing weird things in blood on the walls at this point?
What?
Well, especially Alden, looked rather shaken, if you know what I mean.
Aladdin's tossed in with an elf. I'm pretty sure he's been shaken much harder than that.
I'm just saying maybe we should have a look-see at them. Make sure they are not sacrificing to some kind of horrifying, insane power that probably spoke to them after they saw something that was not there.
Speaking
Okay.
to things that aren't there is very common.
She looks at you with concern.
It's only happened on a few occasions, no time recent.
Steve, I really hope you're pulling my leg there.
Wow. What he called it a cell phone is what he did. Although I think
I give up. I couldn't do this.
I think I lost it at some point.
Wait. So.
I can't tell if you're
What?
being meta or not.
I am not being meta. I will have to find the character sheet out of my many different versions of Steve. He does actually have a cell phone.
Okay, I'm back. So she's just gonna tilt her head and say, "So what is this cell phone thing?"
I'm not quite sure, honestly. It was some mechanical device of some sort. Allow me to talk with things that aren't here.
She looks at Trebal. Trebal, you're a dwarf. What is a cell phone?
Well,
What? Why does cell phone just instantly go to dwarf?
Especially because she's a gnome. Is the funniest part.
well, it's got the word selling it, so I'm assuming it's something for trade.
Yes.
I've got no clue what the word phone could be.
She looks back at Steve. So what's a phone?
I don't know.
Striker.
He was quite
Striker.
fellow.
Striker. Can we roll something to be able to tell what a phone is?
Nope.
Amoth, do you have any idea what this strange thing could be? Being a scientist and all?
No, the cell phone is not something that exists currently for what you guys would understand. The only reason I'm allowing that is because Steve has had some interdimensional travels based on his backstory.
Wait. Did Amalif say that?
No, this is the DM saying that I'm allowing this.
Okay.
The only reason I'm not having him force sanity rolls on everyone is because he did talk to me about some of his backstory.
Okay, so yeah, Amalif is just gonna look up and say, Sapis is gonna look up at Amalif and say, so do you know what a cell phone is by any chance?
No. I mean, Steve, what exactly is a cell phone?
It was some device used for communication. I don't know. Whenever he wanted to talk to me, he used it.
I mean, we had similar devices, but they were just, runic magic that could hold spells for long distance communication.
So maybe it was...
Not super complicated to make.
So maybe it was some kind of more technological device. Maybe it was like a runic device.
Maybe.
Chrome is good with like technological stuff, right? She looks
I mean, we
looks between Trebal and Steve.
We could always ask Odin. He seems to know things about things.
Oh, maybe he had a dream about it once.
Yeah, or saw it. I don't know.
Yes. Once we clean up the walls of the weird markings that are probably there, we are gonna ask him about what his cell phone is.
I have to come up with all new types of dreams for him. Anymore. Oh God.
What are the dreams? Is just the Doritos baby Ed?
His dreams are going to be beautiful, but they're going to be different now. They're going to be skewed because of what he knows now.
Will
Will is an enigma. That's what I'm going to tell you right now. Is he is an enigma I accidentally made one day that became too powerful for his own good.
And now, Vil is back.
He doesn't actually ever leave. He just kind of walks away and then comes back.
Anyway, we should probably go in.
We should wait for our very important date later today.
Yes, like I said, we should go in, grab Auden and Chrome, check up on Maffeo, and then go to the thing.
Well, you seem to be the one that's able to tell time. How close is it to actually being, midnight?
What's the time, Striker?
Now, so you guys went there and talked to him around 7. You had to wait an hour. Probably another 10, 15 minutes or so walking back here. So you're probably looking at around 9 or 8:30ish.
So yeah, she just looks at him and it says 8:30.
Does that thing ever change when you go into different time zones?
What is the time zone? What is this time zone that you speak of?
I'm 90% sure time zones existed before clocks.
No, not really.
No.
It was historically wise, it was each city had kind of their own time,
Yeah.
and it was for the trains specifically that time zones were made.
Essentially, before the Renaissance,
Ah.
time was a really weird thing.
Really hard to
I
calculate.
thought it was for a boat thing.
Time is an illusion.
Sundials.
I mean, technically, time is just a construct. It's shackles created by us for us because of our innate need to be owned by something.
Time is not linear.
All of these squares make a circle.
You know, maybe it's not gonna be Alden who's gonna be drawing the shit. Maybe it's actually gonna be Sapine who's gonna be drawing like blood on the walls.
We'll just take it in turns.
By the way, Pimp says the time zones were made by a person named Ben Franklin.
Yes, I believe so. Although he had inspiration from, what was it? It was some French guy, if I remember.
Hon Baguette.
No.
We need to continue, guys, please. Let's continue.
So, are you guys gonna rest as well, or are you gonna check up on your companions? What are you gonna do?
Sapine's gonna go straight to the room where Alden is.
Aladdin, what are you doing? What have you been doing in your room?
Panicking. No, just resting, concentrating, and practicing a few of his cantrips.
Knock, knock, knock.
Would you have attempted to actually sleep?
Knock, knock, knock.
How long has it been? A couple hours, you said?
Hour and a half or so, 2 hours.
No, he wouldn't have tried to sleep.
Okay.
Knock, knock.
No.
Oh, Auden?
Mhm.
By this time, you had discovered the thing.
The thing.
Knock, knock, knock.
Oh, you're knocking on Auden's door. My bad.
Yes.
Auden answers the door.
So what did Alden do?
Auden answers the door. Just stares out for a moment.
Oh, hi, Alden.
What's up?
Oh, I was just
Yeah?
I was just worried about you. She looks inside and looks at the walls.
I haven't been drawing on them in my own blood or anything.
She goes back, looks at him with a smile, and says, "Oh, I would never have thought of that. Wow, Auden, you have a really strange mind to think of something like that."
Oh,
By
it's
the way,
been on my
Auden,
mind. Hmm?
You actually did know that they were thinking that.
Wait, what?
I knew that they were thinking, what?
You knew that they were thinking that you may be drawing in blood on the walls.
Seemed like the obvious thing to do, so I didn't do it.
Are you okay, Auden?
No, I'm gonna probably sleep really hard tonight, after the funeral.
Alright then. Have a good rest.
When is the funeral? Is it time yet?
Not yet. It will be in about, well, we should probably go in 3 hours.
I thought more time had passed. I'm gonna make some tea.
Auden,
Yeah.
Sapine is wearing some very high-end, fancy clothes right now.
I'm not sure if he would notice. He's gonna look down and oh, you bought stuff.
Ah, yes.
Why did you... Do I need to buy new clothing?
I am probably not the best person to ask about that.
You're one of like 3 people whose opinion I trust at all.
What is he wearing?
He's just currently wearing his traveler's outfit. He's taken his breastplate off.
It's probably worn and definitely dirty.
She looks up and down and says, I don't know, maybe? I mean, honestly, I was actually planning to wear what you are wearing, kinda.
Traveler's outfit?
Yes.
I should probably get something nicer, something like what you're wearing now.
Okay, alright, so we went to, Drake's, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, you should probably go there, he's pretty good at this.
Yeah, I'll go there now.
Just look for a wall that should not have a door, and it has a door. It's kind of like a wonder wall.
Okay. Auden nods distractedly. I'll head over there now. Actually, yeah.
Oh yeah. Steve is in the main thing right now. Just I don't know. Grab him. Maybe just ask him for directions.
Thanks for sticking with us. By the way, I know that we don't always listen to you, and I think we should more. But just thanks. I'm glad you're not like you didn't stay corpsey. That sounded weird. I'm gonna go and grab Steve and maybe Crom and head that way now.
Alright, I'm about to go lose even more sanity with Chrome.
I'll come with you.
But you should go talk to Steve.
I think we all need to go talk to Drake for nice clothing.
Are you sure you're okay, Auden?
No.
Satine,
Yes?
roll me a perception check, please.
Uh-huh. She is not touching herself. Oh, she doesn't need to.
So in all this time, Eowyn has not had any sort of holy symbol or religious affiliation that you've been aware of, right?
Yeah.
He has a platinum holy symbol around his neck.
She notices this and says, so I thought you were stuck in the room.
It's also enchanted, by the way.
Alright, so I thought you were stuck in the room.
I have been?
So I thought you were not a holy man.
I have holy powers. I don't really quite understand exactly where they come from. I don't follow any particular god.
She points with her quarterstaff at his neck.
Eowyn, roll me a will save, please.
Oh god.
You just killed Eowyn?
Probably.
No, this is because of what Eowyn said.
Yep, I don't follow any particular god. Sorry, just double check my will. I forgot I still have the +1 going on. So that's 10.
Oh no!
You feel an intense pressure on your skull as a deep, reverberating, draconic voice yells in your head, "Will." Sapine, what you see is Eowyn starts shaking as his eyes start bugging out.
Auden, you are not okay. I am gonna go grab Chrome, and we are gonna figure out how to help you.
Auden reaches up, grabs. God, I didn't expect this particular facet of him to show up yet. He reaches up and like pulls the if there's a chain, it'll snap. If that can happen, and pull the little holy symbol off. Look at it, and
It's got a clasp, and the clasp just opens up.
And go to the hells, and he will throw it Like, I know it's not gonna like matter, but yeah, he there's a reason he doesn't follow any particular god.
Okay, so where are you throwing this?
Just away,
Direction, specifically.
like forward.
Okay, so where's Sapin is? Can Sapin roll something to try to pick it up when he's throwing it?
Reflex.
Okay.
Chance.
And
Keen, go ahead and roll me a ranged attack roll.
Or that's +5. Yeah, +5.
So, Sapine, he reels back, he chucks it. You jump up and are able to catch it. You land, and you've got nothing in your hands.
so sorry, did you just say that I pass and I still don't have it?
Yeah, Eowyn,
Yeah.
feel a weight around your neck.
Okay. Yeah, Auden just growls under his breath.
Yeah,
Sapine, it's around his neck.
yeah, she just turns back to Auden and she just says, Auden, you shouldn't be throwing your religious symbol that way.
I don't think it'll be that easy to get rid of.
Why would you want to get rid of it? I mean, surely
I don't-
you are... It's kind of like me throwing away my Desna amulet.
No, it isn't. I don't follow any god.
Roll a will save for me, Eowyn.
Yep. Oh
Better
god.
Saves against will.
Okay. So you feel a voice in your head. It's not as debilitating as the last one, but you definitely hear the echo in your head of will. Oh, you are the perfect alignment for this too, because that's his default alignment. Not his religious alignment. That's the god's default alignment.
Neutral good?
Yeah, the religion's alignment is neutral, but he defaults to neutral good.
Directed
Nice.
straight in my.
So count number.
Mm-hmm.
You have a number.
So, but yeah, you're hearing this instead of it being like this overbearing, reverberating, it's
I
more of a
didn't-
gentle
Yeah.
echo.
I'm sure it'll be there.
So yeah, Auden closes his eyes, takes a few deep breaths, and says, definitely something I need to talk to someone with more knowledge about. I don't think I want to inflict this on anyone else.
Auden, you're worrying me.
I'm worrying myself.
I think you should really go talk to Maffeo.
Oh, she's busy at the moment.
Well, I think this is more important than whatever she is doing.
I promise I'll talk to her after the funeral.
She just sighs. Then she takes you by, I guess, your leggings and starts going towards where Chrome is and attempts to pull Auden with her.
Auden will follow.
So Chrome,
Yes.
knock knock knock, knock knock knock, knock knock knock, rapid knocking. She starts kicking the door.
I mean, he didn't exactly lock it.
She's just presuming that it's locked.
Roll a fortitude save for me there, Crom.
Ow! Okay.
The knocking wakes you up.
He'll like growl out like I'm up,
Crumb.
So-
Crumb.
Open it.
Oh, it's open. She opens the door.
What in the blazes is happening?
She pulls. All right, so she pulls in Auden. She pulls him forward. She presents Auden, and then she looks at Crumb and says, "You can heal. You can heal people. Please fix him."
He doesn't look injured to me. Crom will approach and, like, can I do a medical check to look him over professionally? Tout?
Sorry, what was that?
Uh,
Sorry, I just had a bunch of people come in to see the baby.
Oh, it's all good. Sabine basically said that, or asked Crom to heal, Auden, and Crom's like, he doesn't look hurt, and then I was asking if I could do a professional medical look over.
Knowledge religion.
Oh, and knowledge religion instead of medical?
Yep, you're gonna see. This is something you're gonna notice first.
Alright.
Well, he's got a new holy symbol that you don't recognize. Well, it's the same symbol that was on the weird house that shouldn't have been there.
You'll
you have
definitely
detect
raise an
magic,
eyebrow
right?
at that. What'd you say?
You have detect magic, right?
I do, yes.
The holy symbol is enchanted.
Can I tell what with?
You'd have to roll a spellcraft. Or
Alright.
yeah, no spellcraft. Sabine could do that too if she so
Michael,
desired.
we cannot really hear you, Striker.
Sorry. So Sabine, if you want, you can roll a
What?
spellcraft as well.
I think you said I can roll spellcraft.
Yeah, if
Okay,
you want to
okay.
determine what the magic
Okay.
is in his, or holy symbol.
She does have pretty good spellcraft, so yeah, let's do it. Oh god, I almost just rolled D200. What's my bonus on that? Okay. She will touch herself before doing that. Ah! 1 away from 30.
So, it has multiple things on it you can tell. One is that he can't lose it, such as if it were to be removed from his person, it would return to around his neck. It's also cursed. And with that curse, I need Crom to roll another knowledge religion. Oh,
Wow.
that's
Something-
not enough.
Yeah, something I'm good at, and Tatsu says no.
Sapine, you can roll another spellcraft for that, and you can actually roll another spellcraft. It's just a higher DC.
Alright.
Okay, so what am I rolling? So I'm answering people in chat.
Spellcraft.
Okay.
We're trying to determine the curse.
Okay, so give me a second. She is out of. She can no longer touch herself.
Lewd.
I'm sorry, that's basically what it is, though. What?
So, Crom, what you can tell is that there's some sort of divine nature to the curse, but you can't quite tell. Sapine. Oh, Sapine. Yeah, you remember how Trake was mentioning how his best friend, like a brother to him, picked up a god-cursed item?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, your dear friend, like a brother, Aodin, seems to have picked up his own god-cursed item.
So, she looks up at Auden and she says, "Auden,
Yes?
why in the nine hells are you picking up cursed items?
I didn't pick it up. It just appeared when I saw something I shouldn't have.
Oh, come on. Items do not just suddenly appear out of nowhere.
Auden just
Oh, they
looks at
do.
her, and people don't just get up from being dead.
Oh, so
Magic
Auden?
and the gods.
Auden?
resurrection magic is a science.
Auden, I need you to roll me a knowledge religion check.
Okay.
These rolls.
Oh no.
Yep.
So, followers of the religion of will can do and often do or will, so can do and will find random items on their person at any given time of varying use, utility, and rarity.
Fun. I'm gonna write that down, actually.
They don't come from anywhere specific. They have no origin. They just appear. They either do something beneficial or they don't.
Yep.
Or they're just completely mundane.
So, she's actually gonna look at Chrome and say, "So, Chrome, do you have anything to fix him with? Also, you're a very religious individual, right?
I am.
It seems like Auden here is having doubts. He seems to be not happy with his religion or something. He seems to be not be following his god because he seems to be attempting to throw away his his religious amulet. What a strange thing to do. He also says that he's not religious even though he's obviously religious. He's so religious he even put on a cursed amulet on his neck.
I didn't put it on, it just appeared.
Yeah, that's extremely
Well,
illogical. Auden.
Magic is illogical.
Magic is a
I
science.
I didn't necessarily detect any sort of connection to the divinity other than with his magic before, but I don't know. It's something new. I'm pretty sure.
So what you two are saying is Auden was not believing in anything and now suddenly has a cursed religious symbol on his neck that he cannot take off. That appeared out of nowhere, out of thin air.
It seems so, and my guess would be is considering that this thing is, well, god cursed, it would take another deity to, well, remove it.
So one of the few ways to get a either cursed item removed or a god cursed item removed is to have the individual who cursed it remove the curse.
But who cursed
In this
it?
sense, you would need the god who cursed this item to remove, or a more powerful god to remove the curse.
And he will relay that information.
Yeah. Auden will nod, kind of jerkily, and just I'll figure something out about it. Gods know I don't want it.
Just so you know, Eowyn,
Mhm.
oracles can learn the spell Commune as a 5th level spell.
I'm a couple levels away from that, but
Yeah.
I might just do that.
Crom, you still don't recognize who this holy symbol belongs to, but you do recognize it as a holy symbol.
Yeah. I think Crom is just kind of thinking he'll probably head to the nearest altar of Ongrad and commune, well, not commune with him, but pray to him for answers.
Well, there is a religious center here that has a generic altar.
Yeah, he'll probably go to that at some point to pray to Ongrad about that.
Okay. As much as I wanted to get to the funeral today, I think I probably need to, call it here for my end. Mostly because I've got a house full of people.
Yeah, fair enough, man. You gotta do
Fair
what you
enough,
gotta
man.
do.
And you got to deal with baby. You got to deal with people. We understand.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all good.
I think this is a good place. Hopefully, we'll have our Matheo next week to be with the funeral as well.
Someone okay?
We will explain after the session.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, I want to thank you all for coming. Sorry we're cutting this short, but it is what it is. And we hope to see you
Thanks
next
for
week.
having us.
All right. See y'all.
So, bye-bye everyone. In 2 or 3 hours, we are going to be doing another session. So, check the stream in like 3 hours if you want to see that one as well. So yeah, bye-bye.
See you then.
Bye.